Exactly.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7TV. It's Friday, and that only means one thing. It's This Week in Real Estate with Bob and Jason Zador of the Z Team. How are you?
Good.
Very good, man.
Yeah.
Part of the Z team.
That's right.
We're a bigger conglomerate than this.
A bigger
conglomerate.
conglomerate.
Yeah, but it's probably the wrong term. But that's what we
How
are.
long did it take you to
That's
pull
what
that
we are.
word?
That, just, no, that one just jumped out there.
just
actually,
was there?
It was there, so I used it.
Bingo.
But it is. I mean, it's the two of us, Linda, obviously, and Sam McMaster, Reese Tubbs,
Yeah.
Darlene Smith. I mean, the team. That's how that all comes together. Jay's been out working, doing his stuff, and everybody's got their niche that they fill, and we fill in for each other.
So you have 5 members of the team right now?
6.
6?
Yeah.
Who did I miss?
Well, 5 members and Linda, the leader of the band.
That's right.
I wouldn't quite say it that way then. But that's okay. You're the one that has to go home.
Well, but that's what she is. I mean, she's the leader of the band. There's no question. I don't say call Bob. I say call Linda. Call my honey. That's just the fact of life.
Out of the 6, you've got 2 that are licensed in Missouri?
Yes, Darlene and Linda are both licensed in Missouri.
Okay.
Reese's family grew up in real estate down in the Calico, Marshall area down there.
Izzard and Searcy County.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so he knows that ground. You know, I tell the story about a guy called me up. You know, I'm down from the old Smith farm, and I'm like, dude, I got a guy. I'll have him call you.
I got a guy.
I got a guy. That's it. I got a guy. And Reese called me back 20 minutes later. Oh yeah, his cousin and my sister, and they, you know.
I use that line. I got a guy a lot, but it's usually for other reasons.
You know, I mean, turns out they knew exactly where it was. I said, talk about the old Smith farm. I don't know where the new Smith farm is, let alone.
Right.
But got a guy, and that's what it does. And Darlene was born and raised here, born and raised in down by Cotter and Marion County all her life, and that's just worked out so well. Sam's worked here as a recruiter with the Army, and so he knows a ton of people from that, and it's just really worked out well. Really worked out well.
And then you bring in the new guy.
Bring in the new guy, because somebody's got to take the old guy's spot somewhere along the line. We'd like to see this continue and not just walk away from it with all the contacts that we've made, the people that we've helped, and be able to continue to help them.
And you are the techno guy.
Well, sure. I mean, it's just my generation, right? Like you step into a world in my 20s where we didn't have the internet before then, and so I've got one foot in each realm. You know what I mean? So hopefully that'll help me kind of carry over a lot of the traditions that we have. You know, that you don't really get with the younger folk, but I can also still, you know, interface with them.
Right. Are you seeing the age of the buyers changing any?
It's still older, even for first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
You know, where you get them in their late 20s, early 30s, you're seeing more that upper 30s, low 40s.
Right.
Jason, what do you think drives that?
Well, a lot of it is the economy overall, but there's been massive changes with the way that interest rates work and the way that housing has kind of changed with our population changes. You know, there's plenty of reasons you can get really analytical with it, but more or less I think it has to do with the money supply. It's just the way that our economy works right now. You have people who didn't have that nest egg ready, and the nest egg needed to be bigger. And there were a lot of other new constraints because of new technology, new things in the world.
Bob, you've been around a long time. You've bought houses before you even got into real estate. You know, the people today are like, oh, 5.5% or 6% interest, that's just outrageous, and we shouldn't be doing that. And I remember the day.
17, 16 was the high?
I never recognized
in 81.
I remember those rates being around, but in Arkansas there was a 12% cap.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Back in the early 80s.
12%. Wow.
12% was the max that they
And that had scared the bejesus out of people.
Yeah.
Well,
and you could get owner finance deals back
Right.
in those days at 10%, and that's
Okay.
a lot of those were happening.
interesting.
But you know, 8 to 10 to 12 was the norm.
Yeah.
And you hear the folks say, "Well, there's no way we could do 6%." Well, if 6% is where it's at, you might want to go ahead and jump on in, and then refinance if it comes on down.
Yeah, absolutely.
The days of twos are gone. I don't ever
Oh.
see that coming back, do you?
No,
No.
no. That means the world economy is absolutely in the dump if the rates drop that much. That was how it happened with COVID. They kept dropping the rates to keep the economies going.
Yeah, no one was able to really take advantage of those except for folks who had money in reserve. So yes, the interest rate was cheaper at 2-3% realistically, but no one could really participate. But that's why it got low, is because no one was participating. But I think you really got to think about those higher interest rates you get in now. Just think about how rent has doubled in the last 6 years. It's crazy to think about that. If you would have 6 years ago started paying mortgage on a home, today you would be paying the exact same note.
Right.
It's the same price every month,
And that's a big thing with the mortgages. Once you're locked in, they can't raise you.
right?
You can change the rates. You can refi. You can take a HELOC, whatever it is that you may want to do with that, and keep that money locked. But if it does go back to 7, 8, you're still locked in. It's about 6.5 right now. It bumped up a little bit, just the economy in general, and they're trying to control, which is how they control inflation, is with the interest rates. So that's what it's all really based on. In long term, the 10-year note has more to do with it than that short term. When the Fed meets and they say, well, we're going to raise it a quarter, we're going to lower it a quarter. That's not it. It has a psychological effect, but the actual effect is the 10-year bonds, because it's a long-term investment, 30-year
Right.
term. They can't do something that's going to only be 18 months. The investor's like, well, it's too big of a risk. So,
Back in the younger days,
yeah.
you could get CD rates at 7, 8.
That's
Well,
amazing.
but that's why the interest rate, that's why that's when the mortgage rates were 10 and 12.
Right.
Because they were feeding back off of that.
And now
And-
you're not
and-
getting anywhere near that.
And to get, when you got to remember, when those rates were that high, the average cost of a house was probably 160,000, maybe. I bet not even, probably 125,000.
Probably.
Whereas now you're looking at 400,000.
Yeah.
So at 6.5, it does make a difference as far as where people are, and there's just an uncertainty with that. Do I still have my job? Am I in a bulletproof job? Am I a carpenter, a plumber, a HVAC
A
guy
trade, yeah.
in a trade that I can't be replaced by AI? Your outlook is totally different then than if you're somebody who's doing some sort of work that can be where you could be replaced. That's tough, so you got to give that a little more thought. But trade schools.
Local banks, trade schools.
But
Yeah,
that's
fair.
the truth. That's what keeps everything going, and especially in a town like this where we need guys, girls. I mean, one of my plumbers is a woman. Does a great job. Great job.
I don't know of any town that couldn't use an extra plumber or an HVAC
Oh, no,
guy
you're
or
right.
carpenter.
Sure. And you take that with you. That can't be taken away from you, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
You decide you're going to move to Dubuque. Okay, you take your bag and you bring it with you. Learn your skills. You're always going to make money.
Absolutely.
You're recession proof.
Houses on the market today. What are we looking at?
This week in real estate, just to give you a little idea here. There were 62 new listings came on the market, 4 commercial properties, 15 parcel land, but 43 homes came on the market.
Right.
They range in price from $40,000 to $949,000. Average price coming on is $305,000. But 7 of them are taking backups, but they're all in that from 100 to 300 range. Homes that are coming in that are priced right in there and that are ready to go, they're going under contract right away.
Right.
You get above that 390, 375, 390, and up into the 4, 5, 6s. There isn't a lot of motion up there.
There's less buyers.
There's
Yeah.
less buyers. Partly it's the interest. Partly there's just that's a lot of money to spend right now, and we don't know what's going to happen next. And there's an uncertainty in there. There were 22 properties sold, 5 parcels of land, 17 homes closed. So you had 43 come on, 17 closed. Now those would have come on the end of May, early June. 90 days on market is still a pretty good number from the time you come on until now. Talking to a banker this week, we talked about, he says they had a killer May, June, they had nothing. And it's just the way it is. Like I say, 99 days on market, 15 properties expired. There were 35 residential price changes. Currently, there's 577 homes on the MLS, which is a big number. 210 are in Mountain Home. Year to date, for 2026, there's been 579 homes have sold. The median sale price is $220,000 with 74 days on market. In 2025, there had been 596 homes that sold. The median sale price was $211 with 62 days on market. The median number, that's just what it says. It's the middle number where we are as opposed to the average. So it kind of gives you a better idea of for that how many are above and how many are below that. The days on market like from last year was because the low end stuff was going, and stuff comes on, it goes. You know, we've had that happen, and we have several bigger homes, including my own, we're just not getting the traffic that we had expected when we started. You know, we had agents come through and help us price it, things like that. This should go real quick, but that market is just slowing down. You know, homes that are, 150, 200, gone. You know, and investors will come in and buy them, fix them up, put them back on the market. There is a turnover on that, and that's good for the market because you'll get a newer, fixed up place at a better price. You know, but with somebody coming in, investing their own money in it to fix it up.
Jason, word of advice for people looking to sell their home. What's the first thing they need to do?
Well, the first thing you need to do really is figure out where you're going to go. Why are you selling your home? And figure out if this is you wanting to maybe parlay to a new place just because, hey, honey, I want to live in a new house. Or if you have to because of family situation, job situation, because you're looking at a market that's kind of stagnant right now. I'd say the first thing to do is figure out if that's what you really need to do versus what you want to do. And if you want to do it, then you're going to have to take some concessions, because summer 2026 is a lot different than summer 2023.
Okay. What if you're a buyer looking to come to this area? What would you suggest they do first?
Well, anywhere you live. This could be any buyer wanting to go anywhere, is get your credit taken care of, get your bills down, so that you have as little monthly payments as possible to credit cards, because you're going to need that money to pay for your mortgage. But it also sets you up with the ability to buy a bigger house. If you have less credit cards every month, then the bank will say, oh yeah, we'll give you an even bigger loan. And that's what you want. You want that piece of paper from the bank. You could take that to any house you want. Pre-approval.
Your
This
debt
is a lot
income.
different than the what you do online, where you fill in, this is my salary, this is that, and it spits out a happy number for you. They're just selling your information to people who will never stop calling you. It's a different situation.
The never-ending story.
Yeah.
But you get that piece of paper from the bank, and you could take that to any house and say, look at me, I'm good for this much money.
And you're looking in the right range too.
Right.
True.
It's not just being able to buy it. It's being mentally saying, okay, this is what we can afford, so this is what we need to look at.
Right. Bob, how do they get you?
Call my honey. Call Jason's mom, 870-405-0793. Check out the website, retiredtoarkansas.net. You could see the river this morning. Yesterday, they were rolling yesterday.
Yeah.
So been This Week in Real Estate with Bob and Jason Zadora. We will be back next week. See you then.